Hello, my name is Stita and my student number R10H, and I will be interpreting an interview of Indonesian Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Syahrul Yasin Limpo. Minister of Agriculture Syahrul Yasin Limpo emphasized that the future of Indonesian agriculture must be advanced, independent, and modern. This principle is also to reduce Indonesian food imports. In the long term, Indonesian is targeted to no longer depend on food imports, becoming more independent and managed more modernly. Advanced, independent, and modern. Moreover, we hope that fulfilling our food needs, affordable food, sufficient food available for national demand must become part of a better arranged strategy. We even hope that agriculture will be the solution for creating a very strong Indonesian economy. National resilience is also determined by the presence of more effective food security related to people's lives. Food security remains a challenge for Indonesia, ensuring that 367 million people do not lack basic food supplies. It is not easy, the population is growing, climate change, and the technological development is inevitable. Good evening, Mr. Syahrul Yasin Limpo. Mr. Syahrul, I remember late 2008 to early 2009, we met back then in South Sulawesi. We traveled around. We already talked about rice and already talked about agriculture. But now, 10 years later, you have become the Minister of Agriculture. Yes, I remember that when I was a governor. My concern was how can the 9 million people live more peacefully, more comfortable. One of the answers is fulfilling their basic needs for food. And in 2008-2009, I received the Mahaputra Utama Award from the state for my contribution to the agriculture sector. And now we are meeting again. I also did not expect it. My party encouraged me. My party leader, Pak Surya Paloh, was me to become one of the ministerial candidates. I used to think I was a government person. Whose career moved from the lowest level, a village head, all the way to governor for 2 terms, but apparently it's not just about government work. I have to take responsibility for the stomach of 267 million people. Is there a significant difference in technology or strategy from 2007 until now in the agriculture? If we only rely on farming methods and technological approach from 10 until 15 years ago, we definitely will not catch up with today's developments. In the past, people plant crops manually in rows, then move to plowing with hoes, then using buffalo, cow. Now we use the hand tractors. After hand tractors, now in the 4.0 era, we use remote control machine, drones. That's the direction agriculture must move toward. In the past, 1 hectare required 3 until 5 workers. Now for harvesting, one strong harvesting machine can process 4 hectares. Previously, 5 people could manage 4 hectares. Now, one machine can manage about 50 until 70 hectares in one day. Efficiency and effectiveness can be achieved through mechanization. But what about the workers, the human resources? So we must look at this wisely. But the current problem is that there is no regeneration of farmers. No one wants to become a farmer. Yes, farming in the past was done with limitation, with controlled price, so naturally it becomes less attractive. Instead of farming the old way with the same result, same quality with limitation that already set by the system, of course young people would prefer to go to Jakarta to ride motorcycle as a Gojek or do other jobs. Even selling the land is necessary. But tomorrow things may change. This also happened in other countries like the US, Japan, South Korea. They return to strengthening agriculture as a major industry. Moreover, if agriculture becomes more industrialized with larger scale and stronger result, then in its position it provides greater contribution or profit to the farmers. Those people will be interested in farming again. Our young people today certainly don't want to be muddy and dirty anymore. But with technology, they may be interested. Using the Internet of Things, using robotic construction if we want something more modern. But in Indonesia, it must be gradual because we want the labor absorption to continue. But agricultural modernization can be done. The goal of agricultural modernization is to make results more effective. And movement is more efficient, improves quality, and gives workers time to do the other jobs. That is the prospect, but it must be gradual.
Pertanian yang maju modern itu visi depannya, tapi bagaimanapun kita lihat permasalahan sekarang, Mas Syahrul, soal data.
But looking at current issues, Mr. Syahrul, agricultural data always becomes a polemic conflict between minister and institution. What about that? What will be fixed and how to fix it? We know data is something very fundamental and strategic. If your data is bad, your data isn't correct, your data is chaotic, don't expect the result to be better. Don't expect the planning to be accurate. Don't expect the calculation to be correct. And maybe there will be losses everywhere. Maybe there will be corruption everywhere because of the data. Moreover, I promised to the president that within my first 100 days, I will do this. Consolidating data and creating a single data source or system about agriculture. But that's why we need one source that everyone recognizes. The president has given us space to do this. We already understand if your data is wrong, how can you plan? How can you decide how much yield to expect? Who prepares the money to pay for it? So the constant can be maintained. If that's the case, data becomes something important. And ministers should not be divided over this. Our goals are the same. Then over starting tomorrow, I will work with the Minister of Trade. We have arranged it with industrial as well, and we must trust BPS because by law, BPS is the official state data institution. Now BPS should not be alone because agriculture takes crop cutting samples here. Let's say the agricultural crop cutting says 5 tons. BPS comes to test and it turns out to be only 4 tons. Third comes to test taking their own crop cutting sample,
Kalau saya mau dia dicap bagus,
and that creates problems.
hasil pertanian saya bagus, naikin dong dari 4 ton menjadi 5 ton. Saya bekas bupati.
I used to be a village head, so I know if I want to level as good, I have my crop cutting.
Akhirnya udah 3 kali naik nih, dan 3 orang yang melakukan terjadi overlap.
Increase it in a bit to 7 tons per hectare, and finally it's been increased 3 times by 3 people doing it. So there's an overlap, three different institutions. There can be data overlap and so on.
Ada tekad dan kemauan bersama, dan Bapak Presiden sudah menunjuk, silahkan lakukan.
Merunutnya berarti dari mana itu Pak Syahrul yang soal data sekarang?
BPS tetap menjadi utama.
BPS remains the main authority.
Saya punya sekjen.
BPS is the main source. And after my first 2 days in office, I instructed my secretary and all the directors sit together and finalize the data. Create the concept. I want within 100 days there be no more different data. The data held by the regret must match the data held by the president. The data held by president is the same as that used by the village head.
Mungkin nanti kapan-kapan CNN bisa ke sana ya. Apa bentuknya? Apakah misalnya ada kayak seperti dipantau satelit atau via apa?
Monitored by satellite. We have to use it. Technology like artificial intelligence must be used in agriculture. If not, how? I remember it's not just written reports that we wait for. Which village do you want? Name it. Which district do you want? Name it. I look at it now. What's happening there? I want it to be like that. Name a village, name a district. I can check what is happening there. Yes, definitely. Must go there if you want to calculate. So we can know our yield for these 3 months. Today I have already briefed all my directors, from Secretary General to all directors, down to Encon 4. I say I want your calculation within a week. What will our food supply look like in the 3 months? Enough or not? If not, what's the use of me being minister here?
Teknologi. Tadi beberapa kali Pak Syahrul sudah mengatakan teknologi. Tadi beberapa kali Pak Syahrul sudah mengatakan 4.0. Sejauh mana? Hulu ke hilirnya bagaimana? Dan juga memastikan masyarakat melek dan sadar bahwa pangan aman, negara aman, begitu ya. Tetap bersama kami di CNN Indonesia. Masyarakat melek dan sadar bahwa pangan aman, Indonesia Prime News.
Welcome back to CNN Indonesia Prime News. Agriculture that is independent and advanced. Mr. Syahrul, we are still with Minister of Agriculture Syahrul Yasin Limpo.
Sejauh mana teknologi ini akan digunakan? Kan bagaimanapun itu kemudian beririsan, tadi Anda sudah menyinggung itu, bagaimanapun ini beririsan dengan sumber daya manusia, misalnya dengan lapangan pekerjaan. Sinergi itu bagaimana bisa tercapai dulu?
Bonus demografi Indonesia kan
Indonesian demographic bonus is very large, and that becomes our strength if we can utilize it maximally for everyone. Let's say the quality of human resources from the demographics we have, which is reportedly 10%. Young people capable of working, high mobility, great creativity must be encouraged, and they must have strong skills. Well, let's say mechanization and technology 4.0, like in Japan and Europe, is needed because their population are decreasing. Their growth is near zero, so they rely heavily on technology. But we are different. we have 167 million people who need jobs.
Sektor yang paling terbuka untuk lapangan
And
kerja itu
agriculture
perintah Bapak
is
Presiden
the sector
dan
most
Bapak
open for jobs, according to the President's
yang
instruction. We cannot achieve any goal that does not include job creation.
Oleh karena itu,
So we must be wise.
yang tadi yang saya gambarkan 1 hektar itu
As I said
5
earlier,
orang kerja.
1 hectare used to employ 5 people. But if there's harvesting mechanization, one machine can harvest
Tadinya kalau cuma
50 hectares in one day. Originally, manual harvesting could only process 4 hectares. So where do the remaining 70 workers go? That means technology reduces jobs.
Kita berharap memang pemerintah dan pertanian
We hope the government and agriculture sector will measure efficiency and effectiveness.
15 sampai
We increase efficiency by how much? How much is the effectiveness percentage? 15 until 12%. The losses from using mechanization are better. And we take half and half. Maintain jobs but use remaining working hours more productively. That must be achieved. Those indeed derivation from rice, derivatives from corn are not only for eating but can become animal feed, oil, cakes, and various products.
Minyak jagung, turun dari jagung bisa menjadi terigu jagung, dari terigu jagung bisa menjadi kue, menjadi apa. Nah itu yang harus memang ke depan sektor pertanian itu harus menjadi hulu dari 6 produksi yang lain.
Agriculture must become the upstream of 6 downstream industries. With proper preparation, agriculture can support this. So, if we want to take advantage of the demographic bonus, the direction must be industrialization, industrial sectors supported by agricultural raw materials.
Menurut saya, kita punya alam tropis sangat mendukung. Setiap saat kita bisa bertanam apa saja.
And I think we have a tropical nature that's very supportive. We can plant at any time, plant anything.
Kita punya jumlah penduduk yang besar.
And we also have a large population. There are over
Keterampilan awal
basic agricultural training and skill must exist. And soon there will be a program that will emerge within 100 days. The control and strength of agriculture is not at the center, not at the main province, not at the district level, but it's at the sub-district level. The sub-district agricultural extension center is where everything is controlled, training, set development that must be empowered, and using satellites, using mechanization, using artificial intelligence to able to control. That sub-district have the strength to be able to. But this is just talk because I have only been a minister for 2 days.
Itu kan soal ideal-idealnya, tapi kita sekarang bicara yang soal nggak idealnya deh. Misalnya kemarin
Okay, but
pada program sebelumnya 2014-2019
that's about the ideals, but let's talk about what's not ideal now. For example, in the previous program,
tapi tidak berjalan mulus, kemudian terganjal kasus dan lain sebagainya.
that was already prioritized by Mr. Jokowi, but it did not run smoothly because then it was hindered by cases and so on. What about now? Developing new rice field is important, but I prioritize the increase in production and production quality. We do hope we can maintain the strength of our exciting rice field or our lands, which is almost 7 million. I don't want to get the data wrong, I don't understand, yeah, but if it's only 7 million, this will be problematic. If needed, the average yield, let's say 1 hectare, 8 tons or 7 tons, let's say 6 tons. If it's only 7 million, then 6 times 7 means like that. Whereas our food consumption in 1 year is 48 million tons. Still lacking 6 million tons. If our stock is only 60 tons in 1 year, once there's weather construction and so on, let's say severe drought, extraordinary pest attack, like that, whatever we like it or not, we have to import again, and that's guaranteed by law. But the most important thing is that the requirement for import exists. Indeed, there's no other way. As long as there's another way, imports are not allowed. And once again, the key is data. And with technological advance, we can already predict when it will rain.
Di mana daerah-daerah yang bisa panen 2-3 bulan? Saya lihat dari seperti apa pemantauan satelit yang ada. Dan di Sulawesi Selatan
I just asked where are the areas that can harvest in these 2 until 3 months. I can see from what and monitoring the existing satellite. And what about the marketing? Actually, it's not difficult marketing, but the chain is too long. I also already state that agriculture must not be enlarged with its marketing. Agriculture can integrate with other departments or develop its own system. There may indeed be some that must be graded separately by agriculture. Why? If we only produce here, produce well, but don't predict the existing market, existing needs, then when harvest time comes, it crashes again. So, production and market demand must align from the beginning. With artificial intelligence, again with 4.0, we can already actually map what's like, so that in it. For example, when should we increase chili production, shallot, garlic? Garlic is difficult to grow because we are not a subtropical country. Because of that, it's definitely imported. But how can it be compensated with others? This is not a game. Strategy must be open to the public. I quoted from your statement, if food is secure, the country is secure. Without criticizing the past failures, what lesson should we avoid?
Dari katakanlah kegagalan mencapai kemandirian pangan.
We always feel that the responsibility to prepare food is the responsibility of the Minister of Agriculture. I think agriculture, especially food, must not become just a government program. It must be a massive movement, so not a government program, but an agricultural movement, an agricultural optimization movement. Thus, all parties must be responsible. Village head must insert food for their village. Sub-district heads for their areas. District heads for their population. During the Mr. Suharto's era, it was very dangerous if he suddenly heard there were people starving. The governor can't think about other things before seeing whether the people's food has been fulfilled or not. The region, the sub-district head, the village head. In this case, these responsibilities must be structured and systematic.
Harus sistematis yang mau dicapai. Start with the ending-endingnya apa nih?
We must start with the end goal.
Program seperti apa menghadapi?
What is the outcome? What type of program is this? A quick program or a permanent agenda? Who is responsible for that? Don't overlap.
Menteri tanggung jawabnya apa? Jangan sampai overlap. lapangannya gitu loh.
Tapi Anda sadar kan bahwa pangan itu akan selalu
But
ditahan
you know, food issues will always be politicized.
Kalau rakyat makannya bagus,
If people eat well and live
kemudian lebih tenang hidupnya,
peacefully, democracy will surely work.
tidak ada orang bermain-main.
No one will play around.
Kalau kemudian makanannya bersoal, tentu
But
dia
if
cari cara pendekatan
there's
lain. Dan
problems with
pendekatan
food,
yang bisa dicari.
people will find alternative
Jadi
political
harus dibalik.
approaches.
Demokrasi yang bisa
So
jalan
it must
kalau
be
ekonomi
reversed.
tidak baik.
Democracy can only function if the economy is good, and a good economy comes from
Standar
people's
of living-nya terpenuhi gitu. Ya. Kalau kita mau demokrasi hanya bisa kalau
and
ya katakanlah secara
so it must be
ada kekuatan-kekuatan
reversed. Democracy can only work if the economy is also good, and a good economy is because the people are prosperous. Democracy only works if the people and the state have economic strength. Then speculators won't have room to manipulate food commodities.
Terima kasih banyak sudah bergabung malam hari ini di CNN Indonesia Prime News. Sedikit saja, pekerjaannya sulit, minta uangnya.
Saya takut dualisme lagi. Kalau menurut saya sih nggak usah kasih uang.
I'm afraid of dualism again. In my opinion, don't give me a deputy minister. Maybe others need it, but I don't. But I'm a worker. It's up to the president. If given a deputy minister, I'll achieve it. Achieve it. Well, thank you, Mr. Syahrul, for tonight, and CNN Indonesia Prime News will return soon with other information. Thank you.